Hi, I want to talk to you about something that's been bothering me lately. It's something that I started thinking about when we started doing renovations to our home. It's the lack of skilled craftsmen. This is, I think, happening in most places. And it has to do with the fact that there's so much emphasis on a college education and on getting as much education under your belt as possible because that's the only way you're going to succeed in life and that's the only way you're going to have everything you want. And that's simply not true. It's setting up unreal expectations on the part of the people who are going through all the rigmarole to get all of those diplomas, which most of them don't need. And it's setting up unreal expectations on the part of employers or the marketplace, which then has to accommodate all of these people with college degrees or doesn't accommodate them, as the case may be. I think I think much more emphasis has to be placed on training people to be skilled craftsmen. We need master builders. We need carpenters. We need really good plumbers. Gosh, we need so many things. We need really good cobblers. We need really good shoemakers. We really need good tailors. We should have good tailors in every country. And I'm not just talking about the tailors in the high fashion industry. I'm talking about a tailor that you have in your neighborhood, a tailor that you have in your city at the very least, a really good tailor where you can go and make a good set of clothes for yourself. I'm not just talking about alteration shops, which by the way are also disappearing. We need also really good gardeners. We need really good tree care people. They call them tree surgeons, I think, these days. But there's so much need for skilled craftsmen. People who don't go to college, instead they go to tech schools. They go to vocational schools, as they're called in the States, and they study to become professionals in all of these fields that I mentioned and many more. And the thing that bothers me, and this is what got me started this morning, is I got my weekly email from LinkedIn, which highlighted various articles that would be of interest to me. And LinkedIn is a website where you post your resume and you network with other people. Well, the top articles that they sent to me this week and that they send out every week are articles on technology. It seems that the concern these days is not just on the college education, but on technology, purely on tech. If you're not in tech, you don't matter. And it's such a narrow vision. I'm not just talking about LinkedIn. Uh, they're just reacting to what the field is asking for. I'm talking about what's being highlighted on the internet, for example, which is where a lot of the trends are started these days. Instead of talking about a really good new smelting process for iron, or talking about a really cool way to mine this new mineral, or instead of talking about this really neat building technique, or this really good school for builders, instead of talking, for example, about this really good shoemaker somewhere, everybody's focusing on a stupid new shiny website that somebody built. Oh, sure, there's a need for those things, but the need just isn't that great, and it's not something that matters down the road, honestly, because we need, we can't just play with computers all day, all of us. We need people out there doing actual physical work, which is not really getting done these days. It's all being outsourced to developing countries. This is how civilization was built, with physical, hard work, not with a computer. We need the people to do the actual physical work that makes countries run. We need people to lay the roads. We need people to build properly. And I'm not just talking about the really crappy construction that's happening in the States these days. The crap they call construction, the 2x4 bullshit. The where they build walls out of plywood and some plastic insulation, and they call it a home. That's not a home. That's a shed. You shouldn't be paying home prices for sheds. So we if you look at old buildings, you look at stuff that was built in the 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th century. That's real construction. That's really good masonry, really good timber work, a really good joinery. It's amazing stuff. When you go into those homes, you not only feel the work that went into them, you not only feel that, but you also feel the history. You feel the organic nature of those homes. You feel that they were built by people for people. There's a certain character that those homes have, which today's homes just don't have. Uh, they just don't have it. I don't care how modern they are. I don't care what brand new building techniques they're using. You just don't feel that in modern homes. We need people to build homes like they used to build them. We need people to build office buildings like they used to build them. Where it's a pleasure to go and look at those buildings. You just don't have that these days. Most office buildings these days are built with as little concrete as possible because, well, it is expensive to lay reinforced concrete. And then it's drywall, an outer shell, a little bit of insulation, and a false ceiling, which I absolutely abhor. Sure, it's practical to get at the ceiling, get at the pipes and the various wires and do the work that you need to do to maintain the building when you got a false ceiling with drop tiles. But I can't stand it. It's so unnatural. It's so artificial. It's so pathetic. And then you get, the drippings from the pipes that come down and discolor the tiles. You always find that in every office building. You look up at the ceiling and it's so disgusting, like somebody peed on it. I can't stand that. I wish buildings were built better. I'm sure there's a way to build a building in a nice organic way these days with really good masonry work. And a way to also make the access to the pipes and to the wires practical. There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way to build little doors or access panels into the walls, or have entire rooms perhaps dedicated on each floor to just the pipes, where the pipes come up through those rooms and then they spread out, or who knows what. Yeah, I really wish that more emphasis was placed on getting people to go become professional craftsmen. Because yes, you can have a good life as a craftsman. You can have a satisfying life and make a good living being a craftsman. I think it's unrealistic to expect to go to college and make a good living afterward, because as a matter of fact the bar has been raised. Nowadays a college degree just isn't sufficient to make a good living. You actually need a master's degree or a doctorate after that, or need some kind of postgraduate education. So you need to spend more money and go into more debt to get more education that you don't really need in order to make a good living once you get a college degree. There is a market out there. You can make a good living as a craftsman. We just need to get the message out. And I hope that all of you listening out there agree with me and encourage your children to go and become really, really good craftsmen, because there's a desperate need for them. There are fewer and fewer. Nowadays we just have people who pretend to know what they're doing when it comes to craft work. And it's sad, it really is. So yeah, that's my rambling for now. Thanks for listening. See you next time.